don't know if that can
if that's
help.
Okay. No, I just want to get this in the light. Keep talking.
Yeah, and we peaked 38 years ago.
Let's get this out in the light a little
wages.
bit. Here, I'm moving this over. Here we go.
Okay,
go ahead. You talk, I hold.
And so this is where things started to change, and where we failed to recognize how the global economy was starting to hit the American economy and how we had to do something about it. Now, this is the result of income inequality. This is the share of income taken by the richest 1%. There's been one group that's been the winner in America. That's the very top. Globalization's been good for them. Stock options, investing in China, and all the rest. This is 1929, the start of the Great Depression, highest inequality. After the New Deal, World War II, the GI Bill, the mainstream America that really had economic growth and social stability. But then since globalization and since the tax cuts and the surge of power of the very richest, we've reached the level of inequality.
And Jeffrey, you marked globalization 1978 when China was opened?
I think that's the pivotal date. Even in the 1970s, we started to feel the pressure of all of this, Joe. And what we didn't do as a society is we didn't react to it in any sensible way. What happened is the rich got richer, and then they used their political power to get tax cuts, to go for gimmicks, to boost their incomes, to get the Cayman Island tax havens. So we got into a spiral where our societies become less and less fair. If you don't have a high school diploma, your income has been plummeting. The only group that is consistently having a higher income are those with advanced degrees or with bachelor's degrees. This I see all the time when being at a university. If kids come from an affluent family, they can pay the tuition, they can get through, then they have it okay in the United States. But if you're coming from working class family, if you're coming from a poor family, the chance that you're going to make it all the way through college is very small. Even if you make it through that great school that we visited in the Bronx, the Charter School for Excellence, wonderful. You know what we're finding? That those wonderful schools turn out wonderful kids who then can't afford to make it through college. This is with KIPP also. So you end up dropping even after all that hard work, because they can't get through college. And in American society today, if you can't make it through college, you're facing poverty, not middle class. It used to be there was a big middle class for you. Those were manufacturing jobs. That was where you work in industry. Those are all abroad now.
Now Jeffrey, I think the part that's going to be controversial for some is your argument that taxes need to be increased significantly. Talk about this next chart and why you believe we have to raise taxes.
Well, the basic point is, and I called the book The Price of Civilization because Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., one of our great Supreme Court justices, once said that we pay taxes to buy civilization. And in the United States right now, because of the power of the rich in the campaigns, because the fact that President Obama almost every week sits down to a $35,800 a plate dinner, not with poor people, not with working class people, not with middle class people, but with America's rich. The fact that both parties have been on a campaign since the early 1980s, cut taxes for the rich, cut taxes for the rich.
Wow.
To these levels, we have the rich who have walked off with the prize in this country. They have the highest concentration of wealth and income in history. And the rest of America is struggling. And that's really the problem. And I think that if I could find one more of these, actually two more things to show, which I think will surprise. A lot of Americans won't love to see what I'm about to show. But I think it's important for people to understand this arithmetic. They don't feel this way, but the United States is the only high-income country in the world that didn't raise the share of taxes in GNP from 1965 onward. Now, other countries did as we aged, as we needed more infrastructure, as we needed to spend on science and technology. And the countries like Sweden, like Denmark, that I talk about, Germany and others, are right now with lower unemployment, better wages, job skills, keeping their manufacturing sector, whereas we haven't paid our way. And we've ended up with a huge underclass, kids that can't make it through anymore, and all of these gimmicks that we're doing right now, another one-year tax cut, another stimulus, another this, another that. This isn't getting us anywhere. We're at a dead end right now unless we get serious with the underlying problems.
Coming up next, nationally syndicated talk radio host Bill Bennett joins the conversation. Also,